Hi everyone, it's me again, Rose from the Philippines, coming to you with another set of tutorial on how to work on the second fruit slice coin purse, which is this Kiwi inspired one here. So for this project, we're gonna need the following materials. We're gonna need some acrylic worsted weight yarn in the colors of yellow, green, brown, and this moss green here. So we need to use these shades of colors to achieve the look of the kiwi fruit. And we're also gonna need some mercerized cotton thread in black, which is a thin type of yarn for the French knot of the kiwi fruit, as you can see. And then we're gonna need a hook that is 4 millimeters, but since my tension is loose, I usually use this 2.75 millimeter here, which is a letter C. And then you're gonna need a pair of scissors to cut the stain, and then we're gonna use some yarn needles to sew in the ends and to work on the French knot. So we're gonna need this thin one here for the French knot. And this coin purse is approximately 4.5 inches in circumference. And what you need to know is that it is worked in the round. We are going to work on the middle part going around, and it has 11 rounds to it. And the stitches that you need to know before working on this project are the following. You need to know how to chain, how to slip stitch, how to single crochet, how to half double crochet, and then how to French knot. Okay guys, so now that we have all of our materials ready, we're going to start our project now. So pick up your yellow green yarn, and we're going to start by making a slip knot. Although I have a different way of starting a project wherein I wrap around my hook around the yarn like so to form that loop there, and then I yarn over and pull through that loop to make, and I consider this the first chain. Make another chain by yarning over and pulling through that loop. So now we have 2 chains on our hook, and we're going to start by making 8 single crochets. So insert your hook to the first chain like so, pull through 1 loop, so now we have 2. The single crochet, pull through all of the 2 loops to make that first single crochet. So now we're gonna work on 7 more. So in that first chain also, we're gonna form the 7 single crochet. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. So now that we have 8 single crochets on our hook, we're going to slip stitch to the first single crochet to close the first round, and then we're going to start the second round by chaining 1. And here is where we're going to increase. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put 2 single crochets on each of the 8 single crochets from the first round. So that is, so put 1 single crochet on the first space and another one on the same space to form 2 single crochets just in 1 space. And we're going to work on it around, so there should be 1 and 2 for the second space, 1 and 2 on the third one, and just working it around, and I'm going to catch up with you after that. Okay guys, so now you may have formed 2 single crochet for each of the 8 stitches across or around. So now we should have 16 single crochets on the second round. So we're just going to close it by inserting our hook to the first single crochet or slip stitching there to close the second round. So now we're ready to start the third round. So chain 1, and here is where we're gonna make an increase again. So for the first space, just put 1 single crochet. Then for the second one, put 2 single crochets. And then we're just gonna alternate between 1 single crochet on the first and 2 single crochets on the next. So there should be 1 single crochet on the next stitch, and then 2 single crochet on the next, and then work on it around up until you reach the end of the third round. And I'm gonna catch up with you after that. Okay guys, so now that we have made most of the third round by alternating between 1 single crochet on the first stitch and 2 single crochets on the next one around, we're going to slip stitch on the first single crochet to close our third round, and then we're gonna now form the fourth round. So chain 1, and we also have an increase here. So the increase is, so for the first one, put 1 single crochet. For the second, put 1 single crochet only. And then for the third stitch, we're gonna form 2 single crochets just in one space. And then that's what we're gonna do for the whole of this fourth round. So put 1 single crochet on the first, 1 single crochet on the next. For the third one, put 2 single crochets. And then work on it around. And I'm gonna catch up with you right before we close, okay? Okay guys, so by now you may have made most of the fourth round, which has an alternate of 1 single crochet on the first and 1 on the second. On the third, there should be 2 single crochets around for the fourth round. So now that we are on this end part here, we're just gonna slip stitch to the first single crochet and close our fourth round with it. So here's where we're gonna cut our yarn, and we're going to incorporate the second color, which is the moss green. So cut your yarn. What I do is I close it, and then I'm gonna insert the second color on that first space there. So now we're going to chain 1, and for this fifth round, we're just going to single crochet around. So to single crochet, insert your hook there on that first space, and then single crochet around with the second color that we incorporated. So that's gonna be the fifth round of this circular piece. So you can do it on your own now, and I'm gonna catch up with you right before we close, okay? To continue on, so now we have made most of the fifth round by single crocheting around all of the stitches. So you may see this, we're going to close it, but before that, you will see this space right here, right before we close. So what I usually do, just to make it look solid, I insert another single crochet there. So just make another single crochet there so that it will look solid. And then we're going to slip stitch on the first single crochet. So now we have closed our fifth round. So now we're ready to start with our sixth round. So chain 1, and then we have an increase for this one also. So we're going to single crochet 3 stitches across. So there's gonna be 1 single crochet on the first, 1 single crochet on the next, and then 1 single crochet on the third one. And on the fourth one, we're gonna work on 2 single crochets just in one stitch. So there should be 1 single crochet and 2 single crochet on that fourth stitch there. And just work it around up until you finish the second or the sixth round for this project. So that is 1 on the first, 1 on the second, 1 on the third, and on the fourth is the increase of 2 single crochet just in one space. And then work on it around, and I'm gonna catch up with you right before we close this sixth round. Okay guys, so now that we have worked on most of the sixth round, we're on the last or on the end of it. And you may have noticed that we have inserted an extra stitch there. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put another single crochet there, and then we're going to close it by slip stitching to the first single crochet. And now we're gonna work on the 7th round, which is mostly single crochet around without any increase. So that just put single crochet around for each of the stitches for the 7th round, and then I'm gonna catch up with you right before we close. Okay, now we're done with most of the 7th round, which are all single crochet around. Now we reach the end of it, and we're just going to slip stitch to the first single crochet and work on the 8th round, which also has an increase in it. So you may have noticed that we just increased by 1, 2, and 3. So now we're going to increase by putting 4 single crochet on the 4 next stitches, and then just put 2 single crochet on the 5th one. So this is gonna be the 8th round. So we're gonna single crochet 4 times for each of the next stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And then for the 5th space, just put 2 single crochet, and that's gonna be the alternate for most of the 8th round. So put 1 on the 1st, 1 on the 2nd, 1 on the 3rd, and 1 on the 4th. And then on the 5th one, put the increase by putting 2 single crochet in 1 space, and then working it around. And I'm gonna catch up with you right before we close. Okay, so now we have worked on most for the 8th round. So you may have noticed that we have an extra stitch for the end parts of it. So we're just gonna put a single crochet there, and then slip stitch to the first single crochet to form our 8th round. So now we're going to the 9th round. So we're gonna chain 1, and for this we're just going to single crochet all of the stitches around without any increase. So put single crochets around for the 9th round without any increase, and I'm gonna catch up with you right before we close. Okay, by now you may have made most of the 9th round. So we're just gonna slip stitch on the first single crochet here, and then chain 1. And then for the 10th round, this is gonna be the last increase. We're gonna single crochet the next 5 stitches, and for the 6th stitch we're gonna increase by putting 2 single crochets. So there's gonna be 1 single crochet on the 1st, 1 on the 2nd, 1 on the 3rd, 1 on the 4th, and 1 on the 5th. And on the 6th we're gonna increase by putting 2 single crochet just in that 5th space. Then we're gonna alternate that all around to form the 10th round. So put 1 on the 1st, 1 on the 2nd, 1 on the 3rd, 1 on the 4th, and then 1 on the 5th. And on the 6th, make your increase by putting 2 single crochet just in 1 space, working it around, and I'm gonna catch up with you right before we close. Okay, we're ready to close our 10th round, but remember to insert an extra single crochet for the last bit of it, and then slip stitch to the first single crochet. So now we have worked on the 10th round. So now we're gonna incorporate the last color, which is the brown one here. So cut your yarn, and then cast off. Incorporate the brown yarn by inserting it to the first space, and then we're gonna work on the last round for this crochet piece. So chain 1, and then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna half double crochet around without any increase. So that is yarn over, insert your hook to that first space. We have 3 loops on our hook, and we're gonna yarn over and pull through all of the 3 loops. So that is a half double crochet. So just working it around without any increase, And since this is gonna be the second cheek, because I have worked on the first cheek already, don't cut the yarn yet because we're gonna connect it. So for that 11th round, just put half double crochets around. And then we're gonna work on the features, which is the lines and the dots. So after this, just catch up with me and I'm gonna show you how to work on that. Just don't cut the yarn yet, okay? But if this is your first cheek, you can cut the yarn and then work on another one. And for the second cheek, just don't cut the yarn yet, okay? Okay guys, I forgot to mention that before you close your 11th round using the brown yarn, you will see this hole here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put an extra half double crochet there just to make it more solid, and then slip stitch to the first half double crochet. So now we have this, and just work on another one like this. But since I have made the first cheek already, I'm not gonna cut my yarn yet. So now we're going to work on the lines and the dots next, okay? So for the lines of the kiwi fruit, we're gonna use this yellow-green yarn here. So cut about a little over a yard of this yarn, and then put it on your yarn needle. And we're gonna knot the end part of it. And this is what we're gonna use for the lines. So just take off the other materials. So we're gonna start from the edge part of this yellow-green piece here. But first we're gonna knot our yarn or our string on the inside so that it wouldn't be taken off easily. So we're gonna start from the edge part of the yellow-green circle, and we're just gonna alternate between a tall line and a shorter line. So you can have the holes as your guide. So we can make a long line by putting it on 3 stitches up, just like so. Make a short line, so I put it on here, and then work on another one, which is a tall line. So just work on it, alternating between the two lines, okay? The short and the long one. It's okay if it is not consistent. You just needed to have that effect for the kiwi. So make a tall and a short line up until you reach the other side, which should be a short line. So working it around just like so. As you can see, now it's forming that lines there, vertical lines around. And I'm hoping that the yarn that we cut will be enough for it, so we don't need to put another one. So just do this around up until you have that effect. And as we reach the end of it, we're just gonna cut our yarn and knot it inside. So okay. Just put an extra one if it is not leveled. So now we have that. And now we can work on the French knot next, okay? To continue on, we're gonna work on the French knots now. So we needed to put the features first before we connect it, because we wouldn't be able to do it once it is connected. So for the French knots, we're just gonna first knot our... So I have put the Mercerized Cotton thread on the thinner type of needle, and then I knotted it. As you can see, I have already knotted it. So we're just going to take knot our thread inside of the crochet piece so that it will not be visible. And what I usually do is I start with the tip parts of the lines. So there should be dots for the end or the tip parts of the short and long line. But for this inner layer here, I make it a point to make it the last ones. So we'll just work on the tip parts first. So now that our yarn is here, to make a French knot, what I do is I insert my needle there, and then I wrap around the thread around 4 times, and I pinch it like so, and then pull my thread so that it will create that knot there, as you can see. So I'm using mercerized cotton so that the dots will be smaller, because if you use acrylic yarn, it will be big and it wouldn't be appropriate. So we needed to put our needle here on the shorter tip, and then there is where we're gonna make another French knot. So make another French knot by inserting the needle there, wrap around 4 times, pinch that knots, and pull your string. So now we have that knot there, and then we're gonna insert the needle to the next tip, the longer tip one, and work on another French knot there. So that is what we're gonna do for all of the tips. And then after that, we're gonna work on the dots around the middle circle, okay? So I'm gonna show you once again how I do it. Insert my hook, my yarn there, or my needle, wrap around 4 times, pinch it, and then pull your string. And that is how you work on a French knot. So just do this, and then I'm gonna catch up with you for the next part of it, okay? Okay guys, so now we're gonna work on the dots on the inner circle, which is underneath the long lines. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna knot our mercerized cotton thread for the inside part of the crochet piece, just to hide it. And then we're gonna work on the French knots at the bottom part of the long lines. So just work on all of it using the same method that you used a while ago, just for the bottom parts of the long lines, okay? So I think you can work on it on your own now, and then I'm gonna catch up with you so that I can show you how to connect it next, okay? So just work on it, put some dots on the bottom of the long lines, and I'm gonna catch up with you after, okay? By now you may have made both cheeks for this Kiwi inspired wallet. So we just needed to connect it. So pick up your first cheek and then chain 1. Find the stitch where the ends are sticking out. So that is gonna be where we're gonna connect. So insert it there, and then slip stitch. Then we're gonna have double crochet to the first cheek, and then connect it to the other one, Just make sure that the stitches are consecutive. So half double crochet on the next stitch from the first cheek, connect it to the second cheek, half double crochet on the first cheek, and then slip stitch to the second cheek. And this is what we're gonna do up until we have about 33 half double crochet connection. So just reconnect this just like this. Half double crochet the next for the first cheek, slip stitch to the other cheek, half double crochet on the next space for the first cheek, and then slip stitch to the other one, and work on it around up until you have about 33 half double crochet connection. Okay, so now that we have made the 33 half double crochet connection, it should look like this. We have connected both cheeks. So what we need to do is we're just gonna cut off a string or a yarn and then fasten off, and then we're going to sew the ends of it. So now we have that. What is left for us to do is to sew the lining, and then afterwards sew it by hand along with the zipper. So that is what it should look like by now. And then if ever I am gonna make a next one, I'm gonna try to show you how to work on this watermelon inspired wallet next. Okay, so that is the end of our tutorial for today. I hope you enjoyed working on them as much as I enjoyed teaching them to you. If you have comments or suggestions, please put them on the comment box below. All of the details about these projects is gonna be on the description box, and more will be on my blog. If you want to support me, please watch the ads in full. The next project, if I'm able to find the necessary yarn, will be this watermelon fruit slice coin purse here. So that's it for now. Happy crafting to everyone and enjoy.